Bernie Mac, Maybe You Never Cry Again. Uh, hey, America, you need to read this book. Okay? Shit. Shoot. Whatever you want to say. But I started reading this book before I moved here to Japan more than 2 years ago. Mainly because I wanted something different and funny. Bernie Mac, of course, being known as one of the best comedians. And but really his story is pretty amazing. Like, just he didn't really find the big success as being a comedian until much later. Although he, from a young age had been making people laugh, so he knew how to do it. But success and that are two different things, right? So a great story, and just it doesn't ruin the book. But I like in the end he gives a lot of quotes from his mom, who he lost to cancer when he was 13. And he says, "You fall down, you get up, you keep moving." And he said, "That's the secret of life. You fall down, you get up." So, a wonderful book. I think he wrote it, when did he write this? 2003. And then Bernie, he goes into all these things and pulls no punches about people he worked with in Hollywood, basically being like just all these wheelers and dealers, and it is what it is. The business is dirty, right? But he just really goes into that. You work hard, you keep doing it, and that applies to anything, right? If you're an activist or industrialist, like, they're working hard. But it makes me wonder sometimes, how about the people just laying in a hammock? Like, if there were more people, honestly, just laying in hammocks, would we have all the world trouble that we got? Because I had this back at Seattle U. I had this class. What do you call it? Where they talk about human culture and whatnot. It'll come back to the old brain file, but essentially, like, traditional people all over the world, regardless of where they live, there's still some groups who live traditionally today. But traditional people, this is before agriculture, so like basically gatherer, hunters, and had more free time. Had more free time than now. Maybe didn't live as long, but generally healthy, moved around, had more free time. Once you got what you needed and repaired a few things and this and that, people basically sit around and wrestling's like the oldest human sport for a reason, and hung out, drank like homemade beer or some kind of brew. But so I'm always wondering about this hard work. Why we still live in this Puritan ethic? I mean, from activists straight up, like, left of left to like super right wingers that they just nonstop. And I was talking to Maki the other day, my partner Maki, and I was like, we're walking around a lot of times like ants, like following chemical trails. Like there's something to be said about that, but what are we doing? Anyway, Bernie Mac, back to Bernie Mac. Hilarious, just cut straight to the heart. He talks about all these, little stereotypical roles he'd usually get for movies and TV, all the way to the show that he really got famous for, the Bernie Mac show, which he said he wanted to talk about the truth, about raising kids. He basically takes on his sister's kids who, she's got drug problems. She says, "Your family's messed up too." And he's honest about that, which came from one of his routines. So he just fires that in like, yeah, you're judging? Well, you got it in your family too. And so he's taking care of these kids, but he's talking about, he's like, I'm not getting bullied by these kids. So he says all these things that are un-PC and, people would be up in arms about. But then he also said in making the show, he wanted to show like a real relationship, not one of those phony relationships that fall apart on TV, and especially he said that just become like a stereotype. So you want to show like real loving, caring relationship, like two adults that are completely in their own worlds, but actually care and love each other. So, and what it takes to raise kids, the strict versus leniency and all that stuff, and just the reality. the kids put you through. So, highly recommended. I think I got this at like, oh shoot, I got it right here. What? That can't be right. This, I'm reading something that says the library. I did not get this from. Uh-oh. No, I bought this book. I can't remember where I got it, but get it. Bernie Mac. Because you need to get your shit together, okay? Bernie's going to help you out. Read Bernie. Watch some Paul Robeson videos. Watch Paul Robeson when he's being interviewed by the janky, horrible, super right-wing, blacklist, crazy, communist panic. Go look on YouTube. Watch how they interview Paul Robeson. And Robeson is doing his best to educate these people. And this is how many, 60 years ago or so? Like, anyway, 67 years ago. You can see how little has changed or how little things have gotten worse. Anyway, that's Kulev. I'm out. Peace.